All right, John Duever, we are locked and loaded, my friend.
Awesome.
So great to sit down with you.
I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, dude. So I'm going to end up kind of repeating some of what I already said,
No worries.
just for the listeners,
Me
because
too.
I wanted them to hear it. So I'm really excited to sit down with you because, like I said, you're like that silent operator. You're just constantly killing it in your space, but I feel like nobody knows. I first found out about you just through like fighting years back.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same traits that make you successful in like athletic endeavors easily translates to any other part of life.
Without wrestling and MMA and all that stuff, I would never be anywhere I am in business, without question.
So let's start there then. So take me back. So what was your start as far as like athletics and like?
Second grade, started wrestling.
Okay.
You know, I just really enjoyed it. You know, I had a friend of mine, Todd Sorter, that was a wrestler in first grade or something, and I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I played soccer with him, which led to wrestling, and I wrestled all through elementary school, middle school, high school,
Yeah.
and then got out of wrestling and missed that team aspect.
Yeah.
So I just started fighting.
Okay, yeah, that's a very natural transition. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what I did. I found that wrestling has completely, it really, it set the tone for like my mentality for the rest of my life.
Dude, it's mental fortitude. It's being able to dig deep when you don't when you have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting your ass kicked every day,
Yeah,
and then going back in the next day.
yeah,
Knowing what you're in for.
right.
You know, like that's insanity on a level.
Dude, it's day in and day out. You know, even as like a little kid, it's like every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't end. I think back to one of the hardest wrestling practices that I ever had, and it was in that moment that I realized that like the human body is capable of far more than we've been kind of led to believe, but it's all unlocked like through the mind, like it's just like the mental fortitude that it takes.
100%. 100%. I actually went to. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, bro. We're in an operating business. Things
Yeah,
happen.
we're in my office today. I actually went to lunch with my Little League wrestling coach, Aaron Anion,
Okay.
Aaron Anion Sr., like 2 weeks ago, and we were just talking about this, you know, because I travel around and I teach, and every time I teach, I always ask if there's a wrestler in the room.
Okay.
Because you connect with people on a different level
Yeah.
if you know that they've kind of suffered the same hardships as you, and that's wrestling.
Yeah, man. I look back and I feel like there are some decisions that you can kind of you can pinpoint and be like, all right, that was a very defining moment in my life. And for me, it was definitely deciding to wrestle.
Yeah.
I only did it just to get better at football, and I ended up being better at wrestling than football anyway.
It's funny that you say that because the defining factor of my wrestling career, I was on a team of studs. They're a bunch of
Okay.
killers, you
Yeah.
know, the Kepharts and Sorter and Sean Gethin and Donnie Reynolds and all these people that were they were monsters,
Savages.
dude. So they would always win the first two matches and be in the finals, right?
Okay.
And then I would sometimes lose my second match, so I had to wrestle back.
Yeah.
And dude, they didn't have to wrestle and wrestle back. 'Cause they were sitting there taking a nap on the stands. You
Yeah.
know? So I was like, dude, screw it. I'm not losing any more matches. And that's literally like the turning point in my mind where I was like, all right, I'm going to start winning.
Yeah, like in that moment, you decided.
I was jealous.
Dude, wrestlebacks, that's a hard road, man.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It
you
is.
end up having twice the amount of matches as everybody else usually.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So okay, so you decided to start fighting because you just kind of had that urge, right, to compete?
I did. You know, I was kind of a shithead kid, man. I got into a lot of street fights in high school. Like, I didn't get in my first fist fight. Like, I got punched in the face a couple times when I was like in elementary school. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I never got into a fist fight until I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And I just really liked it. Like, I liked that competition. I liked someone really thinking they were going to whip my ass, you know? And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, that's fun, you know? And then wrestling ended, and I miss that camaraderie. I miss that brotherhood. I miss
Yeah.
that, the sweating, the crying, the holding each other up and bringing each other up and making sure everyone's good, and just
Yeah.
the brotherhood feeling of it. And I lived out in Pacific at the time with my mom. I was like 21, something like that, 20, somewhere around there, 20 or 21. And I lived with my mom out in Pacific, and I kept driving by 21st Century Self-Defense every day.
Yeah.
Every day I'd drive by there, and there was people sitting on the curbs, sweating, crying, hugging each other, and I'm just like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I like fighting.
Yeah.
I thought I was good at it, you know.
Dude, from what I remember, you were good at it.
Well, not when I first freaking started, man.
Oh,
that was
you
the most
first
humbling
started?
experience of my life. I finally stop in to talk to Benny Voiles, and I'm like, listen, here's my story. been in a ton of street fights. Never lost a street fight. Like I wrestled. I can do this. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
well, it's about 5 o'clock. You know, practice starts at 6:30. It's like, I'll see you then. I'm like, all right. I go in there and just got my ass whipped for a solid year. I mean,
Okay.
it was the most humbling experience of my life. Like
Yeah.
to go from like just a rough street fighter that would ground and pound people
Yeah.
to like have to learn the sweet science of boxing and kickboxing and like how to
Yeah.
hold your hand. Like everything about it was super weird to me. But it was just one of those things. I showed up that day and I didn't leave for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, man. It's you know, how many guys walk into the cage? Yeah, bro, I fight in the streets, bro. You can't.
I don't train.
Yeah,
I don't train.
I'm trained. But yeah, I remember whenever I started fighting, and I got this feeling. Well, I knew that I would get better. It was just inevitable. Like you put in the time, you'll get better. And that was something like I learned like back with wrestling, just that whole process of getting better. But I can remember feeling like I was never going to get better at striking. I'm like, every time I threw a jab, I got hit. Every time I threw a
with you.
it's just like, fuck, man. Like, I'll never get good at this.
Dude, I would look for any excuse in the world to not come on sparring days. Like anything. Oh, I got a flat tire. Like, no, I had a little bit of low pressure in my fucking tire. You know what I mean? I didn't wash my whatever, my wraps or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I'd look for any excuse.
Yeah.
'Cause I was getting my ass kicked, man.
Dude, it's no fun.
If it was MMA practice, it was fine because I could out wrestle people and I was
Yeah.
stronger than people, you know. But if it was the sweet science of boxing and kickboxing and karate, it was just like, dude, I don't like getting kicked in the face.
No, dude, it's no fun. That's one of the things I tell people about MMA. It's you have more ways to defend yourself. Yeah, it can kind of be more brutal as far as the ways that you have to like get hurt, but compared to like boxing's far probably like worse on your brain.
100%.
You have no way to really defend yourself other than like you can have some good head movement, but if you're just not that good or you're
Totally
tired,
agree.
you're just a punching bag.
A punching bag, dude. And that's the most frustrating thing in the world. Like, I would go to practice and just get beat up and be so frustrated. I'd sit out on the curb and cry, dude.
Yeah.
Just like so frustrated. Just to get. When I first started, Justin Lawrence was a little kid.
Yeah.
He would beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah, he
Like,
wasn't
and
a
he
big
was like
kid.
a little kid.
Yeah.
And he would seriously beat the shit out of me. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing it? But I knew I was going to get better. I knew at some point that
Yeah.
I would be able to at least defend myself.
Yeah.
At least get some head movement and some hips, you know, like.
Yeah,
So,
man.
It was humbling. But yeah, that's how the MMA game started for me, and it just kind of it went from there.
Yeah. How long did you fight for total?
I want to say it was about 7 years.
Yeah.
So I started as an amateur.
Right.
I won a Midwest championship, like it was ISCF MMA.
Okay.
And then I won a United States championship, and then I won an amateur world championship for the
Nice.
ISCF MMA at 155 pounds. And then I was 2 weeks away from my professional debut, and I was diagnosed with heart disease. So.
Okay.
2.5 years ago, that I had to retire. Like, so
Right.
basically my cardiologist said, hey, you can fight for 6 more months, but it's going to get worse and you're going to need open heart surgery. I sat down with my wife and we just talked about it. We're like, why do I do it? Why start it? You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I'll be 2-0, 3-0, 2-1 at that point. I'll just be getting the bug again.
Yeah.
And I truly believe everything happens for a reason. So we took it. I cried for 6 months. It was the hardest thing in the world. I don't like being told what to do. I have a serious problem with authority.
Yeah.
And to be told what to do, like you have to stop doing what you love, dude, it was the most painful thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, to not be able to feel that like that physical competition urge.
Dude, it was hard.
I've actually kind of gotten to the point to where like I kind of naturally transitioned out of wanting to do that, but I couldn't imagine just like being told like boom. Well,
At the top of your game. Like I was
Yeah.
at the tip top of my physical conditioning.
Yeah,
tip
man.
top. I was just starting to like really listen to my coaches and like
you're putting people to sleep, dude.
Dude.
I remember.
it was hard. It was really hard to do. But, that transition, everything happens for a reason. Like I said, that transition into the refereeing and just other avenues. And I could really concentrate on business.
Right. So is that why? Okay. So you stopped fighting. Obviously had a very successful amateur career. Open heart surgery. What was the recovery like for that, dude? How long?
The open heart surgery, so it was 2.5 years ago, and the hardest part of that open heart surgery
Yeah.
was waking up that morning and making the conscious decision to go to the hospital to get the surgery.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part. I had a 2-year-old son, 2.5-year-old son at the time. My wife was pregnant with our second kid, and I knew I had to be recovered by the time my second son was born, but there's a mortality rate, and it was freaking scary, dude. Like it was the most scary thing I've ever been
I
through.
mean, they're breaking open your
Oh yeah, I mean, it was
sternum.
open.
Yeah.
Like they opened full sternotomy, opened me up, repaired my aortic valve. I had what is called a bicuspid aortic valve.
Okay.
So it's basically like your aortic valve looks like a Mercedes emblem or a peace sign.
Okay.
And it has 3 parts called cusps, and mine is just basically a circle cut in half. It has 2. It's just it's a hereditary thing, and I didn't. There's people that go their whole lives that have it that don't even know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for some reason I was pushing myself pretty hard for a very long time, and it just gradually got worse and worse, which required surgery.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially because in the time that we were training, like the more I've learned about training, that whole idea of just like go, like
it's not good.
It's not really good for you. It's not very very sustainable,
No.
or it's not good for longevity.
No,
but
not at all.
dude, when we were coming up like that, you just went harder. Like,
Hard.
That's all you did.
Just go hard.
Like in the training room, you're just banging.
It's much more refined nowadays, which is good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you made that transition into reffing, I imagine, just to be around the sport.
Well, I started reffing. Steve Berger and Tony Biondo. They did Jiraiya Cycles Fight Series over in Illinois.
Yeah.
And Tony, I think Tony called me, or maybe it was Steve that called me and said, "Hey, do you want to ref?" And this was when I was still fighting, and I was like, "Well, hell yeah, dude! Like,
yeah,
you're gonna pay me $200 for a night, and I get the best seat in the house.
I'd be there anyway."
Hell yeah, dude! I'm there, And I was so bad. I sucked so bad at first, but I got bit by that bug, and I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting back into reffing. On this Friday.
Yeah, I saw that. Shamrock, right?
Finally,
I'll be there.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I do hear that.
Oh my goodness, what is that? All right, we'll keep working through it.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry.
So the reffing,
you got
Steve and Tony called me and said, "Hey, you want to ref?" I was like, "Hell yeah," and then I just gradually started reffing more and more and more. I stopped fighting, and I was just like, I have to be. You get bit by the MMA bug, like you've gotten bit, I've gotten bit. You got to be a part of it, man.
Yeah.
And I'm a horrible judge. Like a horrible judge. Like I'm reffing and I'll sit with the judges and I'll watch them and they're like, "What do you score that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like 9-10 this guy." They're like, "You are a freaking moron, dude. It was 8-10 this guy."
Really?
Yeah, I'm such a bad judge. It's crazy. So the reffing just kept coming natural because I would have judged, if I was decent at it, but I wasn't. It was horrible.
Well, you're a fantastic ref.
I appreciate that, man. I take it very serious.
Yeah, I can tell. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like from the time like you lead the meetings in the back, prior to the fights, you're very clear with like your communication. You give everybody like very good detailed like instructions, and then whenever you're in there, dude, I always felt very confident whenever like you were my ref.
I appreciate that. I really do. I get that. I get that from a lot of fighters. Like I don't know. I just know what it feels like to get kicked in your face and your feet go numb. You know what I mean? I know what it feels like to get choked unconscious and be on the level of being choked unconscious and not being unconscious. You know what I mean? Like I get it, and I'm still learning. I am, and I'm getting better every single time I step in the cage. And that's just the bottom line. I want to continue to learn. I'm a student, man. Yeah.
Well, also on top of the fact, since you've been in there, I feel like you allow guys to actually work.
Dude, I get it. I get it. I understand. I know what it's like. I can see. I can look in someone's eyes and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
If they want to quit, I know.
Yeah.
If they want out, I know. If they're winded to the point where they can't even function, I know. You know what I mean? Like I've been in that position.
Yeah.
So,
did you watch that? Did you see the Robbie Lawler Askren fight?
I did. I have to go with Herb Dean on that.
Yeah.
It's the spur of the moment thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really do. Because I actually was watching that fight live at my buddy's house. I stood up and I was like, "He's out! He's out!" before Herb called that.
Okay.
Because from my view of it, Herb grabbed his hand and his hand dropped slightly. Like you're talking about unconscious and conscious. And if you, in hearing Robbie's defense of it, well, like, what am I just going to hold my hand up? Like, I get that, but I got to go with Herb on that, man.
Yeah, man, because I totally see Herb's side on that. That was a very tricky situation because he checked his hand, and Robbie said he gave him a thumbs up, but he kind of like gave him like this half thumbs up, like going
as his
with
hands going down.
Yeah, like with the momentum.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't this thing here. It's like you have to be clear.
Yeah,
and
you do.
If you're not, then like I mean, he's just trying to protect his brain.
Dude, I look at it as life and death, man. Every single time I step in that cage as the third man in the cage, I look at it as life and death. I just take it so seriously. Like if your brain is without oxygen for 1 second, too long, like that's a serious thing, man. If that happens over and over again in your career, it's going to add up. There's no history, or I'm not that I'm aware of. There's no reports that say that, but it can't be good.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean,
dude? Yeah, I mean we have we're learning more and more about like CTE and traumatic brain injury and different things, and that was one of the things that really helped me like kind of make my transition out. Is I just started worrying about my brain entirely too much. So yeah, just being deprived.
That'll make you shy. That'll get you hurt.
Dude, it really will. Yeah. When you step in that cage, you can't have any like regard for your own safety.
Nothing.
You can't you have to feel invincible, and you just have to you're on a fucking mission.
Game time, dude.
Dude, yeah. So like the moment you start thinking about like, oh, what is this doing to me, or like, oh fuck, like that hurt, or you know what I mean? You're just thinking too much. It's time to step away.
It is. No, and it's good that you have the wherewithal to do that. Some people stick in too long.
Yeah.
I mean, just like look at I love Diego Sanchez, but that dude is going to be fucked in his old age, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, he's taken a beating.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, too much.
He was just on this recent UFC card, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he says he's coming back, and dude, it's like, that's great. I love you, dude. I really do, man. But you got to really start thinking about your wife, your kids, your family, your mom, and your dad. Like, I don't want to be cared for.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't want that at all.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I want to age just like. Whenever I'm 100, I just want to be able to move.
Well, yeah, right? When I'm done, when I'm 100, this is going to be fucking done.
Yeah.
Like my body is going to be done.
Yeah.
I'm living,
Dude, yeah. So, are you so like what's your day like as far as like you're a very structured guy.
Pretty structured. Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah, so like what's your day like as far as just walk me through a typical day of John Duever.
Wake up in the morning, kids.
Yeah.
Kids first and foremost. Yeah, my wife is a teacher, so she leaves and goes to work pretty early.
Okay.
So I wake up and get the kids ready, get them, have breakfast with them, mess around, wrestle with them, beat them up a little bit, get them ready for school.
Do you have like a morning routine at all as far as like do you read in the mornings?
I don't do that as much, not like every single day all, at the same time or anything. My time for that is really before I go to bed.
Okay.
That's when I try to get some pages in or listen to a podcast or whatever it may be. I do some sort of development. I try to do it once a day. You know what I mean? I'm not as crazy structured as some, but I get it in though. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that's what's important because when you're running like a company like you are, I mean, you only have so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very important for you to have that family time in the morning, and I imagine that's what charges you for the day.
I love it, dude. I really do. I was talking to my wife, my son. So I dropped my first son off at school, and then we have an in-home daycare that we drop the other kid off. I have a 2-year-old and a 4.5-year-old, and I was calling my wife on the way to drop the 2-year-old off, Lucas, and she's like, "I'm so jealous that you get him in the morning because he's just like an angel.
Yeah,
like he's this little ball of energy and a little muscle-bound little shithead. And he's just so great. And when she gets him in the afternoon, he's screaming the whole way home. And I get home from work, and she's just like, "I'm done."
Yeah, completely different kid. He's
completely different.
He's well rested in the morning.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
dude.
Great.
Kids are fun, man.
Oh, I love it. Man.
They definitely like change the perspective on things.
100%. 100%. I mean, it changed my entire life. My entire life having my kids.
You have them young, man. They're
2 and 4.5.
Yeah, 2 and 4, dude. Like that's that age to where like they're still really like discovering things, and like every day you just see their personality come out more and more.
And they're two completely different personalities.
Isn't that
two
weird to
completely
see?
Different people.
Yeah.
Like my oldest son looks just like me, and is kind of reserved like my wife.
Yeah.
My youngest son looks just like my wife Stephanie, and he's just a psychopath like me. Like he's just like will just break a glass to watch the glass shatter on the ground.
Yeah. You were a rowdy kid growing up?
I was pretty rowdy. I was pretty rowdy. Yeah. I didn't. It was just how it was. We didn't have internet. We didn't have any of that crap.
Yeah.
I had a hammer and some nails and tree forts.
Yeah.
I grew up in Chesterfield, like just down the hill from all the rich kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we just had farm fields and 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers and dirt bikes, and like we went arrowhead hunting to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we went to the creek and like caught tadpoles.
Yeah,
You know,
I
built
remember
forts.
doing that growing up.
Like, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, people hear Chesterfield and they would probably just automatically assume, right? Oh man,
100%.
rich kid.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
I was down the hill from the rich kids. You
Yeah.
know, I was born into a single wide mobile home. You know?
Yeah.
Destiny Joe. So Destiny's my sister. Joe is my brother. We own Vinyl Images together.
Okay.
We're at Vinyl Images right now doing this. But dude, we shared a bunk bed. Joe and I shared a bottom, and Destiny had the top. You know.
Oh yeah.
what
So
it
very
was.
humble beginnings.
It just is what it is. It was
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
It was normal to us.
You don't
like,
know
you
any different.
No, and it was cool. We
Yeah.
had food on the table. Took a cold shower every now and again, and just it was fine.
Yeah, I think about that now. I guess I didn't really appreciate my story, or I guess it just was what it was to me. Until I started talking to more people and like, I started telling them about it. I'm like, yeah, dude, like I grew up on like a fucking dirt road farm, like in backwoods Missouri. Like we didn't have much money. I didn't know that we were like pretty broke, but like it
was just normal.
Just is what it is, man. But it really teaches you work ethic, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, so my dad owns a landscaping company. He started his business when he was 9 years old, mowing grass. That's how he started his business. And I mean, this was back in the 60s, and I don't even know. My dad's pretty old now. He's like 60-something, 66, 67. So it was a long time ago, and he started at mowing grass, and we never really had babysitters, dude. We like would just go on a crew and mow grass, or like, our babysitters were the people on the crew.
Yeah.
Like we were little kids.
Just
like,
going along with that every day.
Like that's how I learned how to sell. That's how I learned how to look people in the eye and shake their hand.
Yeah.
I'd go with Dad on bids. He would just every single night I'd go with Dad.
Yeah.
And we'd go and we'd meet new people, and he would try to sell them jobs.
Dude, that's really where it's at.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with a guy, and he's like helping run like a skate shop, and he had his son in there. I think his son was like 3 or 4 or something with him. I'm like, this is so cool because like you're just exposing him to like every day like what it is to try to run a business.
Just to hear my dad talk to people and give compliments and it's just the art of the sale.
Yeah.
Finding something in common with the person he was talking to, and if he made the sale, it was fine. If he didn't, he'd move on to the next one.
Right.
That's all about. That's sales for you. Get kicked in the nuts 100 times a day and make that
times.
one.
Yeah.
Make that one contact that leads to something else.
Yeah, that one makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
You ever think about bringing the kiddos to work with you at all?
Yeah, at some point, but they're going to be the ones cleaning the toilets and taking the trash out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to start at the bottom.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because they're my kid and I'm president of the company, like it doesn't make a difference to me.
Right.
I would prefer that they went on their own path, though. I really would.
Yeah.
But this is a great business. It's well established. We've been in business almost 16 full years. Multi-million-dollar company, and like whatever. Like if they want to come and work here, that's fine. But they're not getting any special treatment from me.
Well, even just like I don't know, like when they're like 5 or 6, just like
Oh yeah,
let
they'll
them tag
be in
along
here.
with you just so they can see different
getting some
things.
structure and
Yeah.
understanding that it's hard work.
Yeah. Because it's so abstract for them, right? Because Dad comes home and all they see like what all your work affords them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we get to watch Netflix, or we get we get a fun trip to Florida or whatever the case may be. But they don't necessarily know like all the handshakes and conversations and all the actual work that goes into it.
I went to a father. It was like Dad's morning or some Dad's day at school at my son's school. And his teacher walked up and she's like, "What do you do for a living? Your son says you stick stickers for a living." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I do. Like I wrap cars. I play with stickers all day." You know? So it was kind of funny. She looked so confused because that's what I tell my son I do. I wrap cars. That's what we do. It's a large format digital printing company, and our core competency is vehicle wraps.
Yeah. You obviously do far more than that, but it's
we do everything else.
When you simplify it, though, I found the most successful people do that. They just really simplify things, and it's just because like that's how they process things in their mind. To like just, I have a hard time with certain people like overplaying things, because I feel like they're just blowing it up.
Well, they are. They're just they're trying to make it look bigger than it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just like, so I was like, this is what you really do, and you'll see this in the corporate world. They're like, we want like I do this, this, and this. It's like, all right, well, you send a lot of emails and you have some meetings. Like I totally get it. Like,
no, that's exactly.
It's not that complicated.
Exactly.
But a lot of people do that.
Yeah. So my day to day, right? I wake up with the kids, right? Do the kid thing in the morning, which is the most special time to me. You know what I mean? And then it's a grind, honestly. I get to the office about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's I'm balls to the wall from 8 to 5. Hardly take a lunch, barely have enough time for protein shake or anything. You know what I mean? It's really, really busy, and that's when I'm in town. I have a couple other companies that I do. I travel the country and I teach people how to install wraps for Avery Dennison. Avery Dennison is a $7 billion company.
Okay.
So I'm one of 3 trainers for North America, and I travel around North America, and I train them how to install graphics correctly, and then certify them if they're certifiable.
Okay. So you're teaching the classes, you're consulting. You also have an app as well,
I
right?
do, yeah. The computer software. It's called the Wrap app. We started that like 4 years ago.
Okay.
It's worldwide distribution. It's doing really well. Not as well as I thought. I thought it was just going to explode.
Yeah.
But like the rap industry itself is kind of young and it's kind of small, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty new to I don't computer. All right, so I'm pretty new to the app development game.
Yeah.
My partner is a genius with it, but we're learning too, and we're adapting to that to see what the market. We thought we knew exactly what the market wanted, and we knew 60-70% of what the market wanted, and it turned out that we had a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted features on the app. So we're switching it up and kind of rejuvenating it this year.
Yeah. Have you found with this particular industry, just people like to learn kind of hands-on and?
Oh yeah, it's a skilled trade.
Yeah.
Like it's a skilled trade industry. Whether you're a graphic designer or you run the printers in the back or your production or installation or anything. I mean, it's a skilled trade. It's a dying breed.
Yeah.
It's like plumbing. It's like welding. It's like installing carpet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a skilled trade and it's really hard. Like it's a very difficult industry to maintain. Quality people.
It's such a shame too, right? Because I mean, the skilled trades really are the things that pay well. It's a lower barrier of entry as far as you don't have to like go to school for like 4 or 5, 6 years. Dude. And come out with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt.
In my industry right now, the vehicle wrap industry, you can go on Amazon right now and be in business in 2 days with Amazon Prime. You can buy vinyl, you can buy knives, squeegees, every tool you need on Amazon with the vinyl and be in business in 2 days. That's with Prime.
But then the education piece, right?
Yeah, but then you learn and you learn and you learn and
Did you teach yourself?
We're self-taught. Yeah,
So
we started a business. It was me, Joe, Destiny, and a guy named Chris Luth.
Okay.
Chris was our first graphic designer. Basically taught us the stuff that we grew off of, right?
Okay.
And my mom worked there. We couldn't afford to pay her. She was our secretary, right? But yeah, we self-taught.
What made you go into this industry? So also what point? So this was, you said 16, 17 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2002 is when we started.
Okay. You were just like, this is cool. Let's do this.
Destiny, my sister Destiny worked for a company called, what was it called? Adversigns. And I was just out of high school. I graduated high school a semester late because I was a shithead, like I said. Like I just didn't. School wasn't for me. I'm a smart dude.
Yeah.
I'm not. I shouldn't say that. I'm kind of smart, but school wasn't for me, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was a shithead. I was smoking weed and drinking and chasing chicks all through high school. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really care about the academic side of it.
Right.
I was just. I wanted to get out of school.
Yeah.
And then I got into a fist fight in school like 3 days before the end of my senior year, and they weren't going to let me walk in graduation because I got into a fist fight. So I said, "F you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to finish my class. Why would I finish if I can't walk?
Like, what's the purpose?
Yeah, what's the point?" So I ended up graduating a semester late, which is embarrassing, but whatever, it makes a good story.
Yeah, it is a good story.
And then I took off. I was taking off 6 months. My plan was to go to be a chiropractor. I had family friends that were chiropractors, and I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? Something about it. I really looked up to the Arvald family, and Dan and Dwayne. And they were chiropractors, and I was just like, dude, I want to be a chiropractor.
Okay.
Because they talked it up. So I was taking time off before I tried to get into chiropractic college, and I started working for a rap company called Adversigns, and I just loved it. Like right off the bat, it's like instant. I have ADD, so it's like instant gratification. A vehicle would come in white, a van would come in white, and by the end of the day, it would leave with a huge logo on the side of it and phone numbers and websites. I'm just like, dude, like, this is awesome.
Constant turnover of your work. You can see what you're doing.
It's
always.
Great. Like, at the end of the day, you see exactly what you accomplished.
Right.
There's no question what you accomplished.
Yeah.
And then that business actually went bankrupt 6 months after I started there. So Destiny and I got together, and the actual owner actually approached Destiny and was like, "Hey, you need to buy the assets of this company and start your own business." And Destiny's like, "Dude, I don't have any money. I don't have any credit. Like, we literally came from nothing."
Yeah.
And he said he would co-sign on a business loan for us.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So he guaranteed the business loan. We talked to my brother Joe Duever, and We went in the front door and walked out the back door and took everything.
Oh, nice.
I mean, everything. Toilet paper rolls.
Everything.
Everything. Printers, all the vinyl. We
Floor
took
mats.
Everything. I mean, it was
Man.
empty when we left.
How much was that business loan for?
It was like $35,000 or
That's
something.
probably a whole lot of money back then to you.
Well, I mean, it was, when you
Yeah.
don't have, I didn't have a pot to piss in. you
Yeah,
know?
dude.
I mean, there was no money. There was nothing. I mean, it was a crazy deal, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny to look back, but it's humble beginnings, and
Yeah.
we're just tenacious, We've had multiple business coaches and multiple business advisors come in and be like, "How are you still in business? Like, how do you got what? How are you doing this?"
What's bewildering these people? Why are they so baffled?
A lot of the times our accounts receivable was so high, and like we were behind on all of our bills. Like we let our AR like control our business for a long time. We had no formal training in business. I
Yeah.
wasn't reading books at that time. I was 19.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm a business owner. Like, oh, every business owner I know drives a BMW.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
balling.
I thought it was just day one I was going to be a millionaire. you
Yeah.
know? And then I started missing paychecks for 10 more years.
Yeah, I mean, you understood the technical side, right? But
Yeah.
not the actual running of business.
Had no idea.
Man.
And neither did Joe and Des. We knew a little bit,
Yeah.
but we knew just enough to get by,
Yeah.
And then it just took time to establish it. It took time to learn. We've lost $1 million easy.
Yeah.
Easy on mistakes. Probably more than that.
It's investing in your education.
It really is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's one of those things when you're losing your own money, it's a heck of a lot easier to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
And that's really, we just got together and we're like, I'm tired of losing money. And Joe and Des were like, yeah, I'm tired of losing money too. And we just refocused like 5 or 6 years ago, and it's just exploded.
Okay, so
Since.
5 or 6 years ago, that was the turning point.
It really was.
You'd already been in for a decade. You're like, man,
Yeah.
like something.
Still missing paychecks though.
Yeah.
Like we were still missing paychecks.
Missing paychecks isn't you guys aren't getting paid.
We weren't getting paid because we didn't have enough money coming in. We had too many employees. Our payroll was too high. The sales team wasn't doing well. We weren't doing well. We weren't responsible business owners by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
And we just learned. We were just tired of it.
So okay, if you had to give yourself, like in the early days, some advice, knowing what you know now, what would it be?
I would whip my own ass so bad, dude. Like first and foremost, I would just punch me square in the mouth.
Yeah.
And be like, dude, shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Like I was so prideful. You know what I mean? I was just like, I would listen, and then it would just go in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? I would just go and do what I wanted anyway. Taking advice from people that were just so much far better off than me, and they had more business experience or whatever. Like I was so hard-headed and stubborn.
Yeah.
I would just say, listen, man.
Yeah.
Just listen.
You're just leading with your ego, right?
Totally.
Yeah. No,
Totally.
I wonder. Some people are able to do it, but I wonder how many people are actually like really able to sit that ego aside, like
Not many.
before they're 25.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
It's definitely tough, man.
And I was a people pleaser too. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I spent on my 30th birthday, I literally woke up and I was like, I'm fucking doing me now.
Yeah.
I'm tired of pleasing everybody, because I was pleasing everybody as best I could. All my clients, I was going above and beyond. I wasn't making any more money, and I was working 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? And that goes with everything in my life. Like I was really trying to please everybody.
Okay.
And I finally, like on my 30th birthday, like that was a big turning point for me. It really was. Like, because since I have started my professional career at 17, 18 years old, when I really started focusing on knowing that I knew I was going to own a business. I didn't know what it was going to be.
Okay.
But I have a problem with authority. I don't like being told what to do. I like to do my thing. And I work for a corporation now, but I'm more mature now. I know my role, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I had a serious problem with authority, and I knew I was going to own a business. But man, it was just, I lost my train of thought. But it was just one of those things. It was I was just pleasing everybody, and I had to knock it off. I had to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so when you said you turned 30, that was like a real pivotal.
Yeah.
turning
So
point
since
for
I
you.
started my professional career, I've always told people, and I still live by this. I want to have the option to retire at 40. I'm 36 now, and I'm still really far away from that.
Yeah.
I really truly am. But that's always been a huge grinder for me. That's really kept me going on the days that you're just like, dude, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna retire at 40. That's what I'm doing here.
You really think you'll ever retire?
No.
So I didn't think so.
No, but it would be nice to have, have a big nest egg in there and have the option to,
Right.
like what if I get cancer or something? What if something happens in my life where I can't work anymore?
Right.
I'm not going to be struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm diversifying really wide right now. And that's the ultimate goal, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I asked that because I don't, I mean, you seem like the type of person that like you like to build things, like you like
Love
to,
it.
yeah. So I don't know any person like with that personality type that will ever stop.
I do. I like building stuff, and I like the project aspect of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whether it comes from a motorcycle that I like to do stuff with or a business. You know what I mean? Like I literally have 2 business plans in my books right now, ready to launch. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm constantly looking. I get offers all the time to go and partner with people and help me with this and do this, and it's I gotta pick and choose. I gotta pick and choose what's going on now.
Yeah.
Andy Frisella is a huge influence to me.
Yeah.
He was one of my first business coaches. I'm so fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
His wife Emily actually worked for me, and they met through.
Yeah, I heard that on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Pretty crazy.
Dude,
Like it's a crazy
so,
story.
It really is, dude.
So Andy's a fucking monster. Let's just put it out there. Like that guy, he taught me so much. But at the time that he was not preaching to me, but giving me advice and being a business advisor for me, I was still trying to please people. I thought knew everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't do what he said at the time that he said it. Now I'm going back through my notes and I'm going back through all these memories I have of these meetings with him, and I'm taking what he told me and doing it now. If
Yeah.
I would have done it 5 years ago, dude, I would be so much farther ahead.
Yeah.
That guy was so ahead of his time
Yeah.
before the MFCEO project,
Yeah.
before any of that.
Dude, 100%. So I know. So I worked at Supplement Superstores between
Yeah, I think I remember that.
2009, 2010, and this is when First Form only had 2 products, dude. They had Ignition and they had Level 1. And then I remember it was at the Manchester store, and that's also kind of how I knew about you, because they're like, oh yeah, like our buddy John, he does all the vinyl in all the
Yeah,
stores.
yeah.
So like that kind of like put your name on my radar. But that's whenever he had everybody try Formula One. Like he was still interviewing people, so like I interviewed with him. I remember like, cause I graduated with my undergrad and I was married at the time. We thought it'd be a good idea to move down to like San Antonio and save up for a house. So like I remember like leaving the store. I'm like, like this is fucking killing me, because like this company is like at the ground floor right now and they're
Yeah.
going to blow up.
It was just, you could see it right away.
Yeah,
You
he
see it
has
right
an
away.
intensity about him.
He really does, and he's always had it. It's just been it's bigger now. You know what I mean? He's got a huge following. He's got bigger companies and everything. But I should have listened to him way more than I did at
Yeah.
the time. Now I'm still going back through, like literally, I every time I have a business advisor meeting or a business coaching meeting or anything like that, performance coaching meeting, dude, I'm note. You know what I mean? I have multiple notebooks.
Yeah.
There's $1 million worth of notes in there.
And the circle that you like, the people you surround yourself with matters so much. Like you can feel the energy when you're around the right people.
I'm 100% with you. Andy still preaches that. You know what I mean? If you got garbage in, garbage out. That's
Yeah.
the mentality. If you have garbage people around you, you're going to perform under your level.
Yeah.
And that took me a long time to realize as well, because that is so true. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there's no way. Like, dude, I've known this dude for 30 years.
Yeah.
He won't screw me. Well, he's a piece of shit and he screwed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've cut some ties because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I've definitely had to let some people go because, like, you'll tell them about the things that you're like that's going on or whatnot, and you can just see it in their eyes, like it's like hurting their feelings or
Yeah.
something. Like they don't
Get those people out of your life.
Dude, you have to because they're kind of at their ceiling, and it's just gonna stop you from moving forward.
Dude, when I tell people my goals and they laugh, I know I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the people that giggle at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I first started the business, like I always told people, I'm retiring at 40. Dude, I would get laughed at every time I'd say it to someone.
Yeah.
Every time. And I'm just like, you motherfuckers, I'm going to prove every one of you wrong. And I'm never going to forget that smile on your face.
Dude,
I'm never going to forget
I love it. I love when people tell me I can't do something.
Oh, man, I thrive off that.
Dude, I had people in high school tell me that I couldn't run an Ironman. So, like, I've had this, like, I'm going to fucking run an Ironman. Like, just because they told me I couldn't do it. So, I just hold on to the littlest shit.
I like the criticism more than the praise.
Yeah.
I really do. When I travel the country, North America, and I teach classes for Avery Dennison. And I finished the class, a 2-day class. I finished the classes with, I'm going to send you an email. I want you to criticize me. Like, I've only been teaching for basically a year. I don't I just do what feels right in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
have any formal training and teaching or anything. And the only way for me to get better is to be criticized. I want constructive criticism. I even tell people, I was like, send it blind and roast me. I don't care because I'm going to take it constructively.
Yeah.
I just am. You know?
It's so important. I think that's one of the skills. I know I got that from wrestling and sports. Is that something you feel like you got that from?
Maybe
or?
I don't know. I've always been like, I don't lack confidence, right? But I'm the type of person that like, I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to be told that I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, it
You know what I
doesn't mean
mean? Like, I
anything.
understand. I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
So when someone says, "Oh man, you're great. You're just doing so well." Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I expect to. I work my fucking ass off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I expect to win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when I lose, I learn just as much as or more than when I win. And when someone tells me I'm doing something wrong, dude, I'm just like, "What? Where? How can I improve?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, don't just tell me I'm doing it wrong. Give me a suggestion for how I can be better.
Right.
You know, and that's a huge part for me.
Yeah, that's definitely the sign of like a true winner when you can take that criticism and you can say, okay, is that valid? All right, okay, it is valid. All right, how
Yeah.
can I do better from here now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who have been you mentioned Andy. Who have been some of your other just kind of mentors and coaches in life?
Ben Newman I've been working with Ben Newman for 15 years now. I actually met Ben when he worked for Northwestern Mutual, and he came in and he sold us some policies, and we're just like right on, and I just right away, you just infectious guy, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he started giving us business advice maybe 10 years ago. You know, we've always been together in coaching, and like, I've watched his whole coaching career come up from literally the ground level.
Yeah.
And him come up, and he started giving us business advice about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then he became my performance coach and like a real serious business coach about 5 years ago, and then my performance coach about 2 years ago. And that dude's changed my life. I don't
Yeah.
know even know how else to describe it. Like, he comes in here and he just like, we're brothers, man. Like, he's seriously like, I love that dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's like a brother to me.
He has
you know?
amazing energy.
Dude, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I don't know. He just drives home the right stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Purpose, values, you know? Oh, I love being held accountable.
Yeah.
As much as I hate it, I love it. You know what I mean? Like, and if I
Yeah.
tell him I'm going to do something and I don't do it, he looks me right in the eyes like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
You need those people.
I have to have it in my life.
Yeah.
You know, because I can get lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You get comfortable. Like, I get paid. You know what I mean?
It's easy to let yourself slide.
Very
John,
easy.
what are you doing, man? You're fine.
I'm fine.
Everything's good.
fine,
You don't
you
need
know?
to stay up this extra hour. You don't
No.
need to put in that. Yeah, you have to do that. Take this extra meeting. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
That's exactly right. And Ben holds me accountable. Because if it comes from my brother or my sister, I'm just like, "Yo, fuck off."
Fuck
you
off.
know? but if it comes from Ben, I'm just like, "All right, shit, I got to do it."
Shit,
you
yeah,
know?
like you don't want to let Ben down.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't let Ben down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's so important to have those people just to hold you accountable.
Yeah,
and,
I like it, and I like surrounding myself with people that are at way far ahead than me, you know,
Yeah.
financially and life and business and everything. Because I feed off that. Like,
Yeah.
I am a student of life right now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I feel like I'm in my mental prime. Not so much physical, but I'm getting it back.
Yeah.
But my mental prime. I mean, I'm doing some cool stuff, and I'm always learning. I'm always constantly learning and taking the criticism and just working on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're legitimately like the best in your industry.
I would say I'm one of the best in my industry. I wouldn't say I'm the best because I wouldn't want to insult anybody that's in my industry. But
I wanted to say one of the best to be politically correct, but like I'm just gonna say it because fuck everybody else. You're the best in my opinion, and this is why I say that, because you're definitely doing all these things. You're definitely a leader, and I'm sure there are other people who are doing great work for sure.
Yeah.
But what was that like that national competition that you won? How many years in a row?
2000. So vehicle rap competitions are a very big thing in the rap industry.
You're right.
And
You won a national one.
I won a world title.
World
on
title,
it.
yeah.
So it was. Yeah, it's a big deal. It is a big deal.
Huge, bro.
It was a big deal. But it was one of those things. You know, I started vehicle rap competitions. I've met some of my best friends in the industry through rap competitions, and
Yeah.
it's based on speed and quality.
Yeah.
You know, and so you have to be really fast and you have to be really good at what you do. I took second place like 5 or 6 times in a row. I was getting beat, just barely beat, and I just kept grinding. And I've won the last 5 vehicle wrap competitions that I've been in a row.
Exactly.
It's unprecedented. It's never been done before, and I want to get back into it. I'm feeling that I haven't competed since 2016 when I won the world title, because I thought, number one, I thought, what else do I have to prove? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I won 5 in a row, and then I won that world title. But number two, it opened up so many opportunities for me.
Yeah.
Like, my Avery contract came. Multiple other business opportunities came from that, because people want to work with the best. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And I was just like, yeah, come on, bring it.
Yeah.
Let's look at all these options, and I've kind of whittled them out and worked with it. But yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, I like it. I'm good at what I do.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when I'm talking to people, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go sit down with John Duever. Like, he's killing this industry, and people just don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, the killers that we have in this, like the Newman, or even Andy Frisella. Sometimes, even as big as he is, like, some people still don't even know who he is, and it's just like
in the rap industry, like, I'm pretty well known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, outside of that, like, I'm just a normal dude. Like,
yeah.
Whatever.
So how do you prepare for like a tournament or a competition like that? Like, what's it like going into that?
Dude, I do it just like fighting. In the weeks leading up to the competition, I'm watching Gladiator. I'm watching these killer movies, you know what I mean, to get myself mentally prepared. Like, I look at a vehicle wrap competition as a fucking fist fight, and I'm going to kill every single person that's in that ring with me. Like,
Yeah.
I really take it that seriously. Like, I've had people approach me like, dude, are you okay? Like, I'm totally fucking fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to murder everyone in this competition.
Everything's
you know what I
great.
mean? Like, this is perfect. I'm in the perfect, mental spot. And, you just go out there and you just can't make a mistake, because everyone you're competing against is literally amazing at what they do. You know what I mean? And if you make one mistake, you're out.
Yeah.
It's literally like that. You know what I mean? So you have to be super on point. You can't be distracted. It's leading up to it's hard. The days of the competition, I get butterflies real bad. I get anxiety real bad before it, because I feel like I have a lot to lose. You know what I mean? I've built a very powerful brand when it comes to John Duever Incorporated and Vinyl Images and Rap IQ and all these things. And I feel like every single time I touch my squeegee onto the car, dude, that's a direct reflection of my brands. And so I just take it so serious, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe too serious, but I win. You know what I mean? So what's too serious?
I mean, it's only too serious if you're a loser.
That's right.
I for real look at that. Like, I mean, the most intense people, like when you're a winner, like you take what you do serious, and that's why you're good at what you do, right? I mean, you don't half-ass it.
I think the most beautiful thing about the rap industry and the rap competitions is, if you're an asshole, like, you get blackballed.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's out there to help each other. You know what I mean? Like, there's a brotherhood out there that's just unspoken. If you see, like Jim Miller, Preston Jordan, Estevan Hargitay, like, these guys that I compete against on an extremely high level, and we've seen each other in the finals every single competition.
Yeah.
I'm just as happy for them if they win.
Right.
Kinda. I want to kick them in the nuts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude, like, you beat me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fair and square. And when I beat them, it's that they feel the same way about me. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at the elite level of whatever field that you're in, I mean, it's a very small margin that separates, the people at the very top.
It really is.
Yeah.
Jim's beat me. Steve's beat me. Preston's beat me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I beat all of them.
Yeah, everybody's making each other better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever find yourself like talking and like sharing tips and different things
after every round?
Yeah, helping each other.
Every
right?
single round. How did you do this handle?
Yeah.
I did it this way. Well, I'm doing it this way. I stretched it this way. My cut was like this. It's like you're talking about such minute details that like an amateur rapper wouldn't even understand. It wouldn't even register with them what we're talking about. You know what I mean? But I didn't get good at rapping until I started vehicle rap competitions.
Oh,
I knew I was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I placed 4th in my first vehicle rap competition because of a placement error. And Jim Miller, you can kiss my ass for taking first on that one. But I was like an 1/8 inch off placement. You know what I mean? So in the next competition, I spent more time on placement. You know what I mean? Because I knew my quality was there. I knew my speed was there. I knew everything was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk about I mean, specific, not necessarily day to day, but after the competition's over,
Yeah.
we'll sit down and we'll say, okay, well, this is how I beat you on this.
Right.
You know, how did you do that so fast? You know,
Yeah.
and then we'll just go hands on. And what's great about those, a bald eagle just flew by.
Oh, sweet.
What's great about those meetings are, so if it's me and Jim or me and Preston or me and Steve or me and Carl, whoever, it doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean? When we start talking about how we're doing stuff, it's just like a mob of people come by because we're respected. We know what we're doing, and people want to see how we do it. You know what I mean? It's just it's a beautiful thing, man. The rap industry is the most beautiful industry to be in.
Yeah.
It's just the brotherhood. Like if you're a dick, you're out.
Yeah.
It's literally like that. If you're a liar, if you're a cheat, if you're going to fuck people out of money, if you're going to have this online persona and then in person you're a completely different person, you are fucking out.
Yeah. Authenticity is key.
Oh, it's everything.
It's like the new currency, really.
It's everything,
with social media, everything is very transparent.
Yeah.
And your reputation will get around. Whether you're on there or not, like your reputation will get around.
100%.
Yeah, man.
100%. And that's a hard thing for people to do. It's a hard thing for people to understand if they're fake.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an authentic person, like, dude, I'm me. I don't care if I'm online. I don't care if I'm with my bosses. I don't care if I'm with I'm pretty reserved around my wife just because I respect her so much, right?
Yeah.
But like generally speaking, I'm me. You know what I mean? Like love me or hate me, I'm me. I'm not changing. You know, I made that decision when I turned 30. I'm gonna be me.
Yeah.
And ever since I started being me, my paychecks get bigger. My reach is larger. The people I surround myself are better, more powerful people.
Yeah.
Being authentic is, dude, it's everything.
Yeah, because you just quit sacrificing what you allow in your life.
Exactly.
Like you won't compromise at all.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right, and I won't. You know?
Yeah.
And if you put that out there, you garbage in, garbage out, positive in, positive out. You know what I mean? You put that out there in the world, good people come and find you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got a dude that he's an installer here. His name's Addison. He moved from 6 hours in Kentucky to come and work for us. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, but he's a positive influence on our business. Mm-hmm. And he came and he took a class here that I was teaching, and he called me like 6 months later. He's like, "Hey, I want to come work for you." I'm like, "Whatever, come in for an interview, whatever." You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do that, you know, and then no one shows up, or they show up and they're just talking all the shit and they can't back it up.
Yeah.
And he's come in and he's been an extremely positive influence on our company and on our install team. You know, happy to have that dude.
Yeah, dude, and that just speaks to the community that you're building here, right? I mean, you're bringing in, like, with the culture that you're putting in place, you're bringing in the people that are aligned with that.
100%. And we've had horrible culture here. You know, we had a bad turn of culture last year. I lost like 5 people.
Oh shit.
You know, it was hard. I didn't even know what culture was until my culture was ruined, and it took a year to get back. I had no idea. Like I said, dude, I had no education in business. None.
Yeah.
And you know the old saying, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. Dude, that's true. That is the most true thing you could say if you're talking about business, small business in particular.
Yeah.
You know, it was. We've gone through our times, but we always come out bigger, better, stronger.
Yeah.
You know,
and you always will, man. I feel like if you just focus on the process and you're just always improving.
Process driven.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah. I mean, there's no perfect formula.
No.
It's just you just figure it out and you improve and you just figure it out again. You know what I mean?
But being an egotistical boss, you know what I mean? Like I was when I first started. You know, I didn't tell people thank you. I didn't tell people good job. I didn't take them to lunch. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't take them out on the boat and buy them beers. You know what I mean? Now I do that.
Yeah, the relationships really matter.
It really does. You know what I mean? It really does. And you know, I've had instances that made me a little bit gun shy. You know, about becoming friends with my team. Yeah. You know, but now I don't even care. Now I have such a solid group. Yeah. It's really come full circle, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with our team right now. I really am. Everyone seems like they're rowing the boat in the same direction. Yeah. There's no one just half-ass paddling either. Everybody's really rowing hard. So.
Have you read the Dichotomy of Leadership?
I have not, but I have it.
Okay. Yeah, it's on I have it on Audible. I need to listen to it. But what you were saying there just really made me think of that. You know what I mean? Because there is the balance there, right? Like, you're still the boss, but you still want to be like friendly with your team and still like build those relationships. Like,
for instance, last night I had to leave at 4:00 last night because I had a meeting in St. Clair, which is like 40 minutes away. You know, and we have a removal. Like in the rap industry's removals are the worst. It's when you take off old graphics off of a car that's been, it could be 10 years old. It's fucking horrible.
Okay.
No one wants to do them, but I saw we had a removal out there, so I just spent 25 minutes on the removal. I know those guys would come in and see that, see my times on there, and be like, hey, you know what I mean? He is the boss, but he's still digging.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
that's key.
Yeah.
That's key.
I mean,
Lead by example.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Lead by example.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big believer in your actions speak louder than your words.
100%.
Yeah. So that's everything.
Yeah.
Well, brother, we're about an hour, so I want to be respectful of your time. I know you
you're
have a
good.
lot going
I'm
on.
having fun.
Yeah, dude, this is great. I love fucking podcasting and just talking the shit.
It's good.
I want to leave the floor to you though. Like, if there's anything like you want to plug, or how can people get a hold of you,
Sure.
or anywhere you want to send them?
Absolutely. I mean, so online, on Instagram in particular, I am at RapIQ, WRAPIQ. That's my rap family. My launching a coaching and consulting company here in April, and that'll be a huge part of that. That'll be the basically the launch off will come from RapIQ. JohnDuever.com is my website. These are all stuff that like the rap industry needs. Like anyone that's just listened to this, like, oh, I'm gonna go on there and look for reffing stuff. Like there's nothing on there for reffing. You know what I mean? Because I'm very hyper focused on. So every company that I have is all vertically integrated. It's all about the rap industry somehow, some way, whether it's tools or consulting or printing or teaching. It's all around this industry.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, Rap IQ on Instagram. That's the best way to follow me, get a hold of me. I try to keep up with my stories and do stupid shit. And
yeah,
I'm just a normal dude, man. You know what I mean? Like we're doing real well and we're growing and we're just continuing to make the proper steps in the right directions and the right partnerships.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just it's going extremely well. If you guys want anything to do with vehicle wrapping, or you want to get a vehicle wrapped or get a quote or anything, WeWrapAnything.com is my website. It's for vinyl images. We're located in St. Louis here at 44 and 270. Family owned and operated, been in business almost 16 full years. So
yeah, man, you guys are dude. I saw you were wrapping a helicopter.
Yeah,
probably a few months ago.
It was like 2 months ago. Yeah,
okay,
it was an air flight helicopter. I took that one pretty serious because I broke my leg real bad like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I was air flighted out from where I broke my leg. So it was the same company that I was wrapping the helicopter for, and I was sitting there talking to the pilots. I'm like, yeah, I was in one of these, so I took it real serious.
Yeah, how'd you break your leg?
I was in a UTV accident.
Oh.
I don't make the best decisions, but I was I had this big lifted UTV. It was a Can-Am Maverick, and I had like 34 or 36 inch tires on it. It was just huge.
Yeah.
I was there doing business. I was there promoting my company, and I got a little heavy on the throttle, and the thing rolled to the driver's side. I didn't have my harness on, and I stuck my leg out to stop it from rolling, and it basically like took my leg off. It was an open compound fracture of the tibia and fibula, and 6 surgeries later in a year and a half, I'm finally.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm reffing this Friday for the first time, so I'm stoked to get back there. I'm not going to ref the whole show. I'm just going to get 1 or 2 or 3 fights just to see how I feel. You know.
Yeah.
I got to be able to grab people and throw them off. I got to have the speed and agility to be the best ref I can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a big thing to me. So I've been talking to Tim Lukanoff, and we're gonna give it a shot and see how I feel and go from there.
Man, well, best of luck with that, because
I'm excited. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, we talked about it already at the beginning, but you're great at it, and yeah, you definitely have to be mobile in there for sure.
You really do.
Yeah.
And like the little guys are the worst, man. Like I'm sweating by the time I'm getting out of there. I'm just like, Jesus, man.
Yeah,
like, stop running me around.
Trying to stay out of their way, but stay like close enough to the action.
Exactly. You got to be right there, but you got to be far enough away where you're out of the spinning back kick.
Yeah, that'll be good, man. I'll be there too, capturing content for Samrock.
Beautiful,
so it should be fun.
Beautiful.
All right, John, I appreciate it again, brother.
Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in. I'm glad we finally hooked up. I know we've been talking back and forth for a long time.
Hey, man, this is what it's about, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand. So
awesome.
All right, everybody. Until next time.